Yo guys, what's up? I got the plays for you guys for the college football games on Friday. We have 5 plays that we're going to hop into in 1 second real quick. We just cashed on Thursday, and in that video, I had a play that would turn $100 into over $300, and that is what we did, and we cashed that play. So in this video, I have a 3-leg play for you guys that's going to cash 100 into over $550, but we're going to get into that in a second. First, before we do, make sure to drop a like on this video, guys. Please, it helps out so much. It's obviously free. It takes 1 second, and like I just said, we just cashed in the last free pick video, trying to cash here again on Friday. So make sure to drop a like. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel either. I post free pick videos for you guys on the channel every single day, giving you my favorite free player props. So make sure to subscribe so as any of the future videos. Before we get in to the plays today, though, I want to let you guys know, because in the last video it worked so well, so we're going to do it again here. So like I just mentioned, in the last video we had a play that turned $100 into over $300. How we did that is I told everybody to go download the Sleeper app right here. If you live in any one of these white states, you can get the app. So everyone that downloaded it, when you use promo code GHOST, they give you a $100 deposit match. So anybody that used that and got the $100 for free, they put it in on the slip, and then they cashed for over $300. Now, in this video, again, I'm not a financial advisor, so use the money how you want, but I'm telling you guys, the link is down below. Go download the Sleeper app right now. When you download it, it's going to ask you right away if you have a promo code. Put in code GHOST. When you do that, you will get the $100 deposit match and a free square. So take advantage of that. That is so good for us. So make sure to do that. Link is down below. Just make sure to use code GHOST. Get your $100 deposit match. And again, we're going to try to take that $100 again in this video and turn that into over $550 with the 3-leg we have. So make sure to do that. Go get a ton of free money. Get your free square. The links are down below. You just have to make sure to use code GHOST before you deposit to actually get the free money and the free square. But with that being said, let's get into the picks. So this is how we're going to try to turn 100 and over $550. So the first play we have, let's talk about this Georgia Tech Colorado game. So we're going to get into the huge Auburn Baylor game in a second, but let's get this out of the way real quick. The first play I want to go to in this game is going to be Haynes King. Now, I went back and forth with this play and in this game. But when you look at Georgia Tech, you got Haynes King, you got Jamal Haynes. Okay, you got the quarterback who runs a ton, you got the running back who's a stud. So what I wanted to do in this game, if you watched any of the Colorado games last season, they are horrible at stopping the run. One of the worst in the entire, Power 4 conferences. They were atrocious. When you look at the games that they played last year, Colorado, in games that they won, they allowed about 120 rushing yards a game, which is, mid. That's whatever. It's okay. In games that they lost, they gave up over 210 rushing yards a game, which is absolutely horrible. In this game, it's being played at Colorado, but you don't have Travis Hunter anymore. You don't have Shedeur Sanders. You don't have Jimmy Horn. You don't have any of these dudes anymore. They got a bunch of transfers. That's cool for them, but I still don't think Colorado's run defense is going to be any better than it was last year, and if it is, it's not going to be much better. So they're going to have a really bad run defense again this year, and Georgia Tech is one of the best duos in the backfield in running the ball with Haynes King and Jamal Haynes. Georgia Tech has always loved to run the ball. They still do. So they are going to run it 30 plus times this game easily. So in this game, again, I think Georgia Tech's going to win the game. They're favored by about 4.5. And like I just said, games last year where Colorado lost, they were giving up over 210 rushing yards a game. So in this game, like I just said, Georgia Tech, if they win, we can expect them to get around 200 plus yards. I mean, if you're going to go back to last season, and Colorado's defense should be similar to last season, they should get 200 plus rushing yards in this game. So I went back and forth between Haynes King and Jamal Haynes. I like the over for both of them. So if you want to take both of them in separate slips or something like that, go ahead, do that. I think at the end of the day, that's a high percentage play. I think that's a good play. But personally, if I have to choose one, I'm going to take Haynes King. The reason I'm doing that is because as good as Jamal Haynes is, there are some other running backs in that room that will get, 4, 5, 6 touches, which isn't a lot, but he was super inconsistent last season when it came to how many attempts he got. Some games he'd get 15, 16, 17. Other games he would get 7 or 8 handoffs. Haynes King, you know what he's going to do. You know he's going to get probably 10 plus carries every game. And if he does, he should go over 43.5 rushing yards. Again, this Colorado run defense is just as bad as it was last year. They are very bad. Georgia Tech should win the game, get a lot of handoffs, run the ball a ton, run the clock out. So I like King over 43.5 rushing yards. That's going to be the first play. The second play we have and the third are both going to be in the Baylor-Auburn game. So let's talk about this game a little bit. In this game, I do think Auburn's going to end up winning. Now, it's at Baylor. Both these teams are really good. They're both trying to prove themselves in their own conferences. What I like in this game, I think we might have a shootout, guys. I'm going to be honest. I think this has the opportunity to be a very high-scoring, passing the ball up and down the field kind of game. So what we're going to do, we're going to go over to receiving yards, and we're going to end up taking Cam Coleman over for Auburn and Josh Cameron over for Baylor. So for Cam Coleman's situation, he's a sophomore at Auburn. He was at Auburn last season. He is a stud. Auburn has one of the best wide receiver rooms in the entire country, and he's the wide receiver one. They also have a top 10 offensive line in the entire country right now, and they just got Jackson Arnold from Oklahoma. Now, Jackson Arnold did not play great at quarterback last season for Oklahoma, but he also had one of the worst supporting casts in the entire Power Four. So now that he has one of the best supporting casts with, again, top 10 wide receivers and top 10 offensive line, according to PFF rankings, he has a way better supporting cast, decent coach. He should play a lot better this season. And not only that, Baylor's passing defense last season was just as bad as Colorado's run defense. They were one of, if not the worst pass defense in the entire Power Four. They were horrible. They were giving up like 300 passing yards a game. They're also not much better. They didn't get anyone really from the transfer portal. So Baylor is going to continue to give up a stupid amount of passing yards. And I'm telling you, Cam Coleman is a dog. This guy should go off in this game. I think he should have probably 8+ targets in this game, 6+ receptions, and he should have a really good game against this really bad Baylor defense. So if he does, I think him, Jackson Arnold, they should be able to pass the ball up and down the field. He should get a ton of yards and go over 67.5. If I think that's going to happen, then you have to look at Baylor's receivers, because if Auburn's, getting the lead by passing, Baylor's going to have to try to catch up in the game and just play catch up the whole time and pass the ball a ton, because they're going to be losing for most of this game. So if they are, you got to take Josh Cameron over. This guy was a stud for Baylor last year. He still is number one wide receiver on the team by far. It's not even close. You still got him. You still got, Robertson passing him the ball. So he should get a ton of targets, ton of receptions, ton of yards, just like he did last year. 54.5 receiving yards seems pretty low to me. Auburn's defense is pretty good, but again, at the end of the day, it's college football. If they're losing the game, they will literally pass the ball 40+ times without even, batting an eye. So if they pass 40+ times because they're losing in this game or it's a close game, Josh Cameron should have himself a day and go over 54.5 receiving yards. So I like both the receivers over their receiving yards, and then Haynes King in this Georgia Tech game to go over his rushing yards. That's going to be the 3-leg play that I have for you guys. That's my 3 favorite plays. That is really like my favorite plays. If you have to bet today on Friday, that's what I'm taking. And again, if you download Sleeper right now using code GHOST, you get the $100 deposit match. If you want to throw all $100 down, this is what it's going to look like on the Sleeper app. It's basically the exact same plays right here. And then if you cash out for $557 again. Yesterday and Thursday's video, we did this exact same thing. One guy was a DNP, so he didn't end up playing. So it became a 2-man. It was a 3x payout. So they made $300. Anyone that did this yesterday made $300. So we're going to try to do it again here. $100 into $557 if you cash these 3 plays. Again, not a financial advisor, so you guys do not have to put all $100 on. But again, if you want to put $100 on, that's what it's going to look like. But regardless, even if you don't want to throw all $100 on this play, I'd still recommend it. It's just a free $100 for you guys and a free 0.5 square. Now going into the fun 4-man. So that's just the 3 plays I really like. Now we're going to talk about the fun 4-leg play that I have for you guys. And that's just going to be these 2 wide receivers, because I already think they're going to go over. And then both their quarterbacks over, because at the end of the day, it's correlated play like I talked about in yesterday's video. If these wide receivers are going off and the quarterbacks are going off and it does become a shootout and, Robertson throws for over 250, then obviously his number one wide receiver should go over 55 receiving yards. Same thing for Jackson Arnold. If the guy's throwing for 250, Cam Coleman should go over 70 receiving yards. So this is going to be the fun 4-man. This is just if you guys want. This has literally like a 5, maybe 10% chance of hitting. I mean, the odds are not high. It's just for fun because it's a 4-leg, it's an 8x, payout, and it's really, really fun to root for. I promise you that. So that should be good. In yesterday's video, we did the same thing, and I believe we hit one of these duos, and then the other duo ended up missing. But hopefully we could cash this. That would be insane. That is, 8x or 10x payout. So that's really good. But that's going to be the 4-leg I have for you guys. But again, the main 3 plays I have for you for these games on Friday are these 3 right here with the wide receivers over and then Haynes King over on rushing yards. So again, make sure to drop a like on this video, guys. I really do appreciate it. Hopefully we could cash again in this video for you guys, hoping to make you guys as much money as possible this season. So also subscribe to the channel so you miss any of the future videos. And before we get out here again, the link to the sleeper is down below. Click that link, download it. Make sure to use code GHOST before you deposit. $100 deposit match and a free 0.5 square for you. So that's just, that's a lock. It's a 0.5 square, so free play for you, and it's available in all of these white states right here. With that being said, these are the 3 main plays I have for you guys for the games on Friday. Good luck with all your bets, and I'll catch you next video.